Welcome home to Eden. This is Eve Christoph, your love life muse, aka Soeva Sophia, as a new author on Amazon. Get my book, Eve's Eden, Her Pillars of Existence. Okay, so we're going to talk about protection today. Protection of your heart, body, and soul, protection of all that you're creating, protection of your relationships. But we're talking on an esoteric level, because yes, the sabotage of people around you who are jealous, who might gossip, of our minds who are afraid of the great love that's now come into our life, all of that has a way in which it can be sabotaged spiritually by entities that are out to stop the planetary evolution. So if you are a being of high importance in your own heart and mind, you know you have something to offer the world and the universe of great healing potential. You are a light that is also a magnet for interference. You've got to call in your protection. So look, you either believe in shamanism or you don't. You either believe that there are spiritual realms and spiritual entities that can affect us positively and negatively, that can be called in for help or called in to prevent interference and sabotage of your power, or you don't believe in it. So if you don't believe in it, ignore this video, go somewhere else. You know me, I'm all about magic and real dimensions of spiritual shamanism. Why am I so connected on a Native American style of understanding? Why have I spent so many years, maybe lifetimes, as a healer, studying with different indigenous great teachers? It's just where I'm at, okay? It's just my truth. It's how dreams work for me. I see things in the future. They come true in waking life. You can do this too, but the thing is, do you believe in it or don't you? Because if you dabble, it's not a good thing. And here's an example. A friend of mine had a handle that was from his teenhood that was really pretty much connected to Satan. And he also named very, very great art that he made, really sort of demonic names that were very, very ritualistically negative. They would call somebody to a negative side of themselves, maybe even to suicide if they read his titles. And he coupled that with powerful shamanic healing spirits he was calling into his art. Now this is very irresponsible. And if you look at his life, you can see all the ways over the years he's been sabotaged. His own handle he made for himself as a teenager is satanic. So it's an invite, right? So in my relationship with him, I kept getting sabotaged. I kept getting endangered because I'm the one who could see it. I could see the portal open and I could see the demon attached to him that he was attached to because he liked how hip it made him, how cool the handle was, like teenagers do. Teenagers are adolescently dabble in dangerous energies. So as you grow up and you become a true healer and you become somebody who's channeling great healing medicine through your art, you're becoming more and more responsible, right? Aren't we all? Hopefully. I mean, when I look at my Eve's Eden show, which a lot of you used to watch, it's still there, but you're going to see more and more of my videos disappearing. That's because I've got to be more responsible to the universe. So I'll either change the names of what I've created, if it's a really healing show with a nefarious labeling or naming of the show that invites chaotic energy, distorted energy, fear, lower energies, then I'm warping the portal that I've made, right? So you're going to see that show has 900 videos or so up there, and it's going to be less and less and less there, and have different names that aren't as the ones that you're used to, if for the ones that remain, probably, because I want to be more responsible. Look, look at this. Look what I just found on the ground. You see this? Can you see the blue? The bluebird of happiness doesn't just come. The bluebird of happiness is sculpted. It's like, well, sculpted. You got to protect it. You got to invite this bird. Okay? Invite it. So what am I asking you to do? I'm asking you to look at your life. Look at the times where you were majorly sabotaged. Look at where you were on a beautiful trajectory and suddenly, here he comes through the forest. Look, he's so full of joy. Here he comes. Can you hear him? Yes. Here's the joy being coming. Everything was going so beautifully, and suddenly it turned upside down. You didn't trust yourself anymore. They didn't trust you. Everything you created was lost. All the equipment you bought, everything was burned in a fire. The new home, it's under a flood. That you didn't move when you were going to, after all, and you were there for the flood instead. Like, just check out, were you inviting negativity in some way? Were you having constant negative thoughts? Were you in a drug habit? You know, because drug habits create a hole in your spiritual being, and when you have a hole where you're vacating because you want to just get out of the way so you can go have your chill time on another planet, well, that leaves a space for other spirits, other energies, other demons to come use you, use your life, steal from your power. I know, I'm talking about this right out in the open, just like some kind of a witch woman. But look, everybody knows this. It was Halloween. Everybody knows about spirits, ghosts, you know, Bardo lands where ghosts and spirits don't actually make it to the next realm where they're supposed to have a healing life. We know these things exist. You've felt angels come in. You've seen your ancestors sometimes after someone has died. They've appeared to you in a dream or right there on the end of your bed talking to you. Okay, this is all I'm talking about, is being consciously responsible, respectful, and in relation to entities and spirits and angels and healers and protectors that protect you and help seal off your container so that you can be that strong, amazing healer, bringing something unusual, unique, that is only yours to bring, but it's got to have protection. So seal off those adolescent portals, would you? Don't act like, oh, it's just such good art, it's worth it, you know? No, it's gonna be hard for me, believe me. I like those videos I made because I was younger. I'm never gonna look like that again. Oh, wow, check me out. I'm 61. In a couple of weeks, I'm gonna be 61, and I feel like I had a complete renewal of my whole life. Why? I've been gaining lightness, heart, body, and soul. I've been letting go of baggage in my spiritual being, and also offering my breakfast, sometimes my dinner as well, to the healer beings that I call in for protection. So I don't eat my breakfast, I send it to them. I send it to the saints in Tandraloka, to Muktananda, to the healer goddesses and gods that I love. And what they do for me in return is they refresh me by not eating for those hours, right? So it's almost 2. I'll finally eat at 2 o'clock, and I'll end at 7. And then I'll offer my dinner to them again if I have the willpower. So you find your sacred rituals, okay? You find your ways to invoke spirit, to feed spirit. Remember that the third force of life, it needs to be fed. It needs to be nourished, just like your relationship with your body or the ones you love. You've got to feed the magical levels. So you believe in this or you don't. But you also want to stop feeding the demons. Stop offering them your life. Stop doing the trade with the devil, like, oh yeah, but I look so cool when I'm on that stage doing that hellish, rant or poetry that's full of hate, or that, that song that got so many likes, but it's really just full of sadness and heartbreak with nothing to offer but bitterness. And oh yeah, I created this wonderful portal for my ancestors, but they're full of rage and revenge, and so that portal is just wreaking revenge into the world. Like, what is the intention? expression. Why not give those ancestors a place for catharsis in your art that resolves into a transfiguration of their energy, into a forgiveness zone where they get to renew their whole life contract in a different way and become warriors here on earth now? Why not guide what you're doing with clearer intention? Okay, let's get really clear in our intentions. Woo! Was that okay to share all that with you? I think you can handle it. We've got to stop dumbing things down and assuming that none of us have the complexity that we actually do. These simplistic answers aren't going to work. You can't have a relationship without sabotage coming up. You can't have a new job or a big way you want to help the world without being able to face these demons that come, these interferences. And sometimes it's not even an external demon, it's internal. Something to be dealt with in yourself from what you've lived through as a child, or voices of others that shouldn't be there, that need to be thrown out, that are just negative, you know. So when you're doing that work, it's really, really exciting, because you can refresh yourself by refreshing your mind, refreshing your thoughts, and having a whole different way that you start talking to yourself and talking to life. And you know what? Another level of forgiveness with the people you're working with, the people you love, where you're just like, I'm not going to exit because I'm upset. I'm not going to block people. I'm not going to disappear and stonewall. I'm going to take some space, yes, like calm down. Oh God, please, let's just get in our hearts for a minute, get out of our heads full of their cynicism and you know, it's got cynicism, and it's just like, it's like just not believing in ourselves or others, like going so dark, like it's so sad. I'm laughing because, oh my God, it's just so real for everybody. Here's the river. Here's the sky. The fire's within. Here's your companion. Spirit companion with you. Contact those spirit companions, call in your angels, and start to do the work of actual relating with each other. Stay in the fire to go through the fire. Have you ever jumped through a fire? Have you ever walked on the coals and noticed that there is a way to do that? That's kind of what relationship requires, and anything requires, is the fire looks impossible, but you can jump through it unburned. You can, but it means going through it, not getting in it to, prove something through pain and suffering and drama. You're going to go through it, right? That's the only way to the next octave of love. And how are you going to make it through a fire unsinged in your silk dress? Protection, intention, clarity with where you're going, where you're jumping to, holding hands in love and trust, turning towards each other. As soon as you make it on the other side of the fire, turn towards each other. Now have that conversation. But now you're in the spirit of love and understanding, instead of all this, projection that was in the illusion on the other side of the fire. Much love, darling.